Life often brings us to moments where we experience the heart-wrenching pain of someone's departure from our lives. It's during these times when we feel the weight of emptiness, confusion, and sadness. We wonder why this had to happen, why someone we cared about had to leave. It's natural to grieve when a relationship ends, whether it's a friend, a loved one, or even a colleague. These moments are a testament to the depth of our emotions and the connections we forge with others. But what if I told you that sometimes the pain of someone leaving is far less than the pain of allowing them to stay? This paradoxical truth can be hard to accept, but it's rooted in a deeper understanding of God's plan and His ability to see what we, in our limited human perspective, cannot. So, as we explore this idea further, remember that pain, even the pain of separation, can often be a doorway to something better, something more aligned with God's divine purpose for your life. In our journey of understanding the pain of separation and loss, it's crucial to recognize that God operates from a perspective that transcends our own. He sees what we cannot. Imagine for a moment standing at the base of a mountain surrounded by towering trees. Your view is limited, and you can only see a small part of the landscape. However, if you were to ascend that mountain, your perspective would change dramatically. You would see the vast expanse of the valley below, the intricate details of the forest, and the bigger picture that was hidden from your view before. Likewise, God has a higher perspective, an eternal viewpoint that we often struggle to comprehend. He understands the intricate tapestry of our lives, and He knows how every thread, every relationship, every experience fits together. What may seem like a painful and inexplicable loss to us is, in God's grand plan, a necessary step towards something greater. In your own life, you may have experienced moments of heartache and confusion when someone you loved departed from your life. It's in these moments that we must remember that God's wisdom surpasses our understanding. What may seem like an ending could be the beginning of something far more beautiful. Trust in God's unseen perspective, for He knows the long-term effects of relationships and experiences. We often encounter situations and people that may seem comfortable and familiar, but they may not necessarily be in alignment with God's divine plan for us. It's during these times that God, in His infinite wisdom and love, steps in to protect and guide us, even if it means removing something or someone we hold dear. Think of a gardener tending to a garden. To ensure the healthy growth of plants, the gardener sometimes needs to prune away dead or overgrown branches. This act of pruning may look painful to the plant, but it's necessary for the overall well-being and vitality of the garden. In a similar way, God may need to prune certain aspects of our lives to make room for new growth and blessings. There are moments when we resist change or cling to relationships that no longer serve our highest good. We may hold on to jobs, friendships, or even romantic relationships that keep us stagnant or even lead us down destructive paths. It's during these times that God, who cares deeply for us, intervenes. You may have encountered moments when God's guidance involved the painful removal of someone or something from your life. It's essential to trust in His wisdom and His plan, even when it's difficult to see beyond the immediate pain. God's desire is for your growth, well-being, and happiness, and His guidance often requires us to let go of what no longer serves us. Now that we've delved into the idea that God's wisdom often involves the removal of people or situations from our lives, it's time to turn our focus inward. Personal reflection is a powerful tool for understanding the significance of loss and separation in our own journeys and discovering how God's plan is always at work. Take a moment to think about your own experiences of loss or separation. It could be a friendship that ended, a job you had to leave, or a romantic relationship that didn't work out. In the midst of these moments, you may have felt confusion, heartache, or even anger, but as you reflect on them, consider how they might have been part of a bigger plan. Perhaps you can recall a time when you lost a job and it felt like the end of the world. Yet, that loss eventually led you to a new career path that was more fulfilling and aligned with your passions. Or maybe you went through a painful breakup, only to discover that it freed you from an unhealthy relationship and allowed you to grow as an individual. These experiences, while painful at the time, often hold within them the seeds of personal growth and transformation. They may have been necessary steps toward a brighter future, one that God had in mind for you all along. As you reflect, consider the lessons you've learned from these experiences. What strengths did you discover within yourself? How did you grow as a person? Did these moments of separation ultimately lead you to a better place, even if it was a rocky journey? Life is a journey filled with twists and turns, and sometimes the road takes us through valleys of sorrow and loss. However, it's crucial to remember that these valleys are not the destination, but merely a part of the greater path that God has laid out for us. In times of grief and separation, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that God's plan is always better than our own. We may feel overwhelmed by the darkness of the moment, unable to see the light that awaits us. But it's during these very moments that our faith in God's wisdom and love is tested. The Bible tells us in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." This verse reminds us that God's intentions for us are always for our welfare, our well-being, and our ultimate happiness. Even when we cannot understand the reasons behind the pain we experience, we can trust that God is working all things together for our good. So, as you reflect on the pain of loss and separation in your life, hold on to this message of hope. Embrace the changes that come with God's guidance, even when they are painful, knowing that they are leading you toward a future filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. In closing, let us encourage one another to trust in God's plan, to lean on His wisdom, and to find solace in the knowledge that He is always looking out for our best interests. As we move forward on our journey, let us remember that, even in the midst of pain, God is our constant source of strength and our guiding light.